Welcome back, MG fam, to the Masters franchise here on NBA 2K11. And yes, after getting swept by the Spurs in the first round, we're not happy, man. We're not happy. This is not where we wanted our franchise to be at this point of the series. But we're going to move forward. And you can see that the top-seeded squad in the West, the Sacramento Kings, having a hard time with OKC. And you can see the 76ers ended up losing to LeBron and the New Jersey Nets. So what we're going to do is simulate the rest of the playoffs, and right here, you can see the Utah Jazz slid to the second round after beating the Golden State Warriors, and OKC beat the Sacramento Kings. So we weren't the only upset, along with the 76ers. And on the east side, you got the Boston Celtics facing the New York Knicks, and LeBron will face the Detroit Pistons. So we're going to simulate all the way to the conference finals. And in the conference finals, you have the San Antonio Spurs advancing to face the Utah Jazz. And in the East, you got Boston facing New Jersey. Yo, Bron took an 8-seeded team all the way to the conference finals, and he has a chance at making it to the finals before the Miami Heat, bro. So we're going to simulate to the finals, and LeBron ended up making it to the finals after beating the Celtics in 7 games. And the San Antonio Spurs were 1 game away from making it to the finals as well. So you got the Jazz facing the Nets in the finals, and let's see what happens. The Jazz ended up winning another NBA championship, which gives Deron Williams his second. Yo, the Jazz went all in at putting together this veteran super team, and Deron Williams led this team to another championship. And the way his resume is looking, he might be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame, bro. 2 NBA championships, 2 final MVPs, 5 All-Star game appearances, and 1 first-team All-NBA. The guy is putting on a show out here for the Utah Jazz. And we're going to slide on to the offseason, where we saw BD slid on to the sunset, and Rashard Lewis out of here for the Masters. Lamar Odom slid out of here for the Masters, and Paul Pierce goes off into the sunset with a championship, bro. Pierce finishes with 2 championships, bro. You can't do nothing but respect that. But the only Hall of Famer this year ended up being Tracy McGrady. I believe Paul Pierce, the truth, needed to be added to that list, bro. That's kind of disrespectful. So we slide on to our team. We had a lot of improvements. Hines ended up getting 2 bumps on his overall rating. Whiteside had 4 bumps in his overall rating, and Newman only 1. So we also had a few team options, and we accepted all except 1. The one we didn't accept was Marcus Singletary, a point guard. We really don't need a 58 overall on our squad, but everybody else like Chapman, Soto, Bassie, and Hines, welcome back to the Masters. And sliding on to the rest of the league, we had Russell Westbrook to decline player option, and he will try to join a championship contender. Ever since KD left, things haven't been the same. So if he leaves OKC, it will be James Harden team. And Michael Conley ended up declining his player option as well. Be interesting to see where he will go. So right now we have 4 players with expired contracts, Newman being one of those guys, Batum being the second guy, and JJ Redick. So we know we're not going to resign Singletary. JJ Redick will have to hit the free agency because his role has diminished on our squad as we've been adding a lot of good young talent. And Batum, after the showing he gave us, man, in that second half of the season, we don't even want anything to do with that kid. But for Newman, we will see if anybody tries to offer him more than what we offer, and we may match it if it's reasonable. But if not, we might be saying goodbye to him. So now we're sliding on to the lottery, where we don't have a pick, but we will be watching the 3 teams in our division that do, like the Rockets, Dallas, and Memphis. And after simulating the lottery, Dallas ended up with the 2nd overall pick after being projected to get the 6th pick. And the Rockets slid to the 5th pick, 2 slots down from the 3rd. And Memphis stayed at the 13th spot. And Milwaukee will get a top pick this year, and we will see what they will do with it. And we ended up with the 24th pick because we had a pretty solid regular season. Our postseason wasn't what we thought it was going to be, but we're right there in the thick of things. 24th is 10 spots outside of the lottery, but we believe we can get a solid pick here. So now we're going to slide to the NBA draft and get this thing going. So out here with the first pick, you got the Milwaukee Bucks selecting Malcolm Frazier, the power forward from Florida. And with the second pick, the Mavs picked up Dale Finley, the power forward from Troy State. And with the third pick, the Trailblazers picked up Spencer Thorpe, the small forward from Washington. And with the fourth pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers trading their pick and Jordan Lee for Brevin Sharp, who was a top pick in one of the past drafts, and George Winston. So they swapped that pick, and the Wizards ended up picking up Austin Gill, the small forward from Penn State. And with the fifth pick, the Rockets ended up picking up Lamar Collier, who is supposed to be Yao Ming's replacement. And the New Orleans Hornets ended up picking up Marcel Hood, the shooting guard from Washington. So Washington had 2 players selected in the top 10 so far, and the Wizards, who ended up with 2 top 10 picks after trading away Brevin Sharp, they will select a small forward in Lamont Cartwright from Seton Hall. So the Wizards are still trusting the process, and Jermaine Fields, the shooting guard for Notre Dame, goes to the Nugs. Then you have the Pacers with the 9th pick, picking up Lawrence Warwick, a shooting guard from Fresno State. And Toronto Raptors ended up picking up Hugh Bryan from DePaul. And the Clippers ended up picking the first international player in Yunlong Wong, and Ricky Watkins from Oklahoma State slides to the Timberwolves, a 6'5" guard. And Glenn Justice from Boston College ended up being the second center taken. And then Atlanta selected Shane Vaughn, a point guard from Nicholls State. And OKC ended up trying to find Russell Westbrook's replacement just in case he leaves. And with the 16th pick, the Nets pick up a pretty solid center. Hakeem Oakley, and Stephon Lynch is another center being taken, and he will head to San Antonio. And Justin Bell, the small forward from Arizona, will go to LA. And there goes Corey Peterson, power forward from Xavier. He will head to Orlando. Brad Fuller, the shooting guard for Temple, will go out to the Bay Area. And Michael Ferguson, the power forward from Massachusetts, he didn't have to travel too far. He will be playing for the Knicks this year. And there goes Simon Wingate from Rhode Island. He will head to the Heat. You know, we always talk about the Heat having a hard time at landing a solid center. They ended up drafting one here. And then we are on the board this time. We got Fidel Guzman on our board. He's a 6'6", 220 guy. His NBA comparison is Michael Petrus. He is more of a defensive player than an offensive player at this moment, and he's from Argentina. So we're going to pick him up, and he will be one of our first international players that we pick up on our squad via the draft. And Keon Forte, the power forward from Xavier, slide on to the Pistons. And then you got the Kings taking another international player, and Lionel Meyer from USC goes to the Bulls, a shooting guard. And Jesse Love, the small forward from George Washington, goes to the Boston Celtics. And then Sergio goes to the 76ers, and then Jeb Tyler, the power forward from Australia, rounds out the first round. So we slid on to the recap of the draft. Check out the ratings for all of the top players here. You had the Bucks, who selected Malcolm Frazier, the power forward. He's a 77 overall, so he wasn't even the best player on the board, and they selected him over Dale Finley. Is that bad GMing, bro? You gotta find out who's the best player at the position. If it's 2 power forwards at the top of the draft, get the best guy, bro. And Dallas continues to draft well. And Dale Finley was an 80 overall, and you can see he's already better than Malcolm Frazier. And also Spencer Thorpe, 79 overall. He was the second best player in the draft, but he went third to the Trail Blazers. And the Wizards picked up Austin Gill, pretty good pickup, 77 overall. Lamar Collier, the center, that went to the Rockets, 76. And then you got a shooting guard, Marcel Hood, going to the Hornets, 77 overall. Then things start to fall off there at the 7th pick, with Lamont Cartwright being a 74 overall. And then Jermaine Fields, 68 overall at shooting guard. You got Jermaine Fields going to the Nugs, who is almost 10 ticks below Lawrence Warwick. What was the Nuggets thinking? The Pacers got it right, though. And there goes Hugh Bryan, the small forward for the Raptors. He's a 75 overall. And then you have Yunlong Wong, 67 overall. And then the Timberwolves pick up Ricky Watkins. He's a 67 overall. Glenn Justice was a 68 overall. And then Shane Vaughn, the point guard. He's a 67 overall. So we ended up signing our only draft picking for Fidel Guzman, and then we slid on to the qualifying offer. So we talked about Newman having a qualifying offer. It's only worth $7.58 million, so it will leave an opportunity for other teams to at least offer him $10 million for 1 year. But if he doesn't get any offer, he will end up signing back with us. So the top player on the board this year in the free agency is John Wall. John Wall is a 96 overall. He's looking for a new home. He has been playing out there in Detroit for the last couple of years, but he is out of there right now. And Russell Westbrook is on the market as well as Jalen Fox, who was mistreated out there in LA, and Monte Ellis and Bokeem Parks looking for a new home, and Julian, I guess that's how you say his name, he will look for a new home as well. So after simulating the whole free agency, you can see we ended up getting Elmo Newman back on that qualifying offer. Nobody else wanted to offer him that much, and I understand why, because he hasn't performed to a level to get a max contract yet. And the Thunder ended up signing Marcus Thornton from the Hornets, nice shooting guard for that team, and Spencer Hawes will re-sign with the Celtics for 4 years worth $50 million, and then the Thunder ended up signing the Celtics shooting guard Justin Battle for 4 years worth $48 million, and the Nuggets got their guy Jalen Fox. So you finally have a team where you can run the show, buddy. 5 years, $88 million, and Michael Conley to the Hornets. CP3 is still there. What are they gonna do with two great point guards? And there goes the Pacers signing Clyde Skinner, the former Utah Jazz, and the guy Bokeem Park said, "I'm leaving Sacktown. I'm going to the Big Apple." Bokeem Parks goes to New York, and Carlos Boozer ended up signing with the Boston Celtics, a 1-year deal. So he's almost on the brink of retirement, but he continues to re-up for 1-year deals. And Jeff Teague will go out there with Cole, baby, and play with Kobe Bryant. Jeff Teague, hey, I was watching a podcast recently, and Jeff Teague said this was a possibility, and Cole was upset that he didn't come to LA to play with him. And also J.R. Smith head to Toronto. I'm not sure if he will get PT. You got DeMar DeRozan over there. You got a lot of young talent over there. Oh, my bad. I skipped Willis Pierce, who signed with the Grizzlies on a 3-year deal. And Monte Ellis ended up sliding on to the Hawks. Be interesting to see how that would work. And John Wall ended up going to the Hornets as well. The Hornets got almost all the best point guards in the league. What are they thinking? And Kemba Walker ended up signing to the Pacers. And Derek Harrison goes to the Lakers. The Lakers are trying to get a point guard, man. And the 76ers got Lou Williams again. I think he played there already one time. So he left San Antonio and will go play with Kyrie and them out there in Philly. And the Spurs got Sylvester Graves, the former Phoenix Sun, and the Raptors signed Russ. And then you have Leo Jacobson, the former Timberwolf, going to the Magic. The Magic trying to sort that point guard position as well. And the Knicks ended up picking up Stephen Cunningham, another great forward. He played for the Portland Trail Blazers. And G Yingling, the big 7-footer, goes to the Bulls. Man, the Bulls are loaded. The Bulls got some of the best talent, and they're looking to make a championship run as always. So we slid on to scheduling camps. We didn't make any big splashes in the free agency because we trust our squad. And also, we don't have that much money to spend. And we sent our guy Hassan Whiteside to rebound camp, and now his defensive rebound is a 93 and his offensive rebound is a 90. And Elmo Newman, we sent him to shooting camp, and now he shoots the 3-ball over 80. Off dribble, he is a 84. So currently in the free agency, you have some solid talent, bro. Gabe Kelly, who used to play for the Knicks, he is there. You got Elliott Williams there. You got Henry Lambert there. So we're looking for a small forward, and Henry looks like that guy. So Henry used to play in Denver. We saw him play some great basketball his first few years. Then he ended up getting traded to Phoenix. Then he had a backup Kevin Durant. Then his numbers went down a lot. So we're gonna give him his $5.76 million, and this is his season to prove to everyone that he is a baller. So a few more changes that we made. We traded away Marcus Williams, our backup PG, who's a vet. He's the age of 30, and Isaac Holmes, a guy we received during a trade. So we're gonna trade these two guys for Martell Webster and Jess Rogers. So we also ended up trading away Ethan McPherson, who was another backup point guard, and we gave up our first round pick this year, Fidel Guzman, and a second rounder in the 2019 draft for Harold Snow. So after making those moves, we're ready for the next season, and Hines is here as our starting point guard at 88 overall. His backups are Chapman and Rogers, both 66 overalls. And our starting shooting guard will be Newman, as you guys know, followed by Burke and Snow. Burke is still that guy coming off the bench. And our small forward will be Henry Lambert. He's an 80 overall, yo. Like I said, we got this guy on the steal, and backing him up will be Bassie and Martell Webster. And our power forward will be Larry Sanders, followed by Luka Mbamute and Julian Waters. Yo, the power forward position is the big question mark for me, because I believe we need more of a stretch forward to compete against teams like the Spurs in our division, because we got to be able to put up more three-pointers. For our center position, you got Whiteside. You know, he's a beast, bro. This guy's been putting on the show and doing everything that we asked of him, followed by Soto is a guy that we're not going to give up either. We believe in all of them. And now we're going to slide on to the power rankings for next season. And the top team right now is the Bulls, man. The Bulls coming in with a very good squad. You know, they added a lot of great pieces over the past few years. And then you got the Hornets following them. And the Heat still have their big three with Melo, Wade, and Bosh. And the Celtics are there as well. The Hawks slid into the top 5. And you got the 76ers, who's always a contender. And the defending champs, the Utah Jazz, are there, and the Knicks are there with Bokeem Parks on their squad, and LeBron and the Nets are at 9, and the Cavaliers are in the top 10, man. Can you believe that? And we're number 11, even after the horrible showing we had in the postseason. The Nugs with Jalen Fox are in the top 15 with the 12th spot, and Kobe and them are right there at 13. The Pistons are 14. The Clippers are 15. The Raptors with Russ on their squad now is at 16. The Pacers are at 17. The Spurs are at 18. The Kings are at 19. The Mavs, they're in the top 20. And the Bucks, who had the top pick, ended up at 21. And the Suns and KD 22. That's crazy. And the Timberwolves are 23rd. 24th, you got the Magic. That's crazy. 25th, the Grizz. 26th, Trailblazers. 27, the Thunder. And 28, the Wizards. 29, Steph Curry and the Warriors. And 30th, you got the Rockets. So it's going to be a very interesting season, man. A wild off season. We will see if the Jazz will repeat as champs, or will they even be contenders? But as always, man, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Hit that like button, that notification bell, and let's get this next season started. And I'm out of here. 1.